together again and again. It really struck me with how I want to start this this conversation, because we have "You're a mean one" Kevin O'Leary, chairman at O'Shares ETFs, Shark Tank co-host, CNBC contributor, and John Hope Bryant, founder and CEO of Operation Hope and Bryant Group Ventures. And I'll tell you what I'm talking about, John. And I love this, and it's great to see you. Great to see you both. So, John, one thing that you say that strikes me all the time that I think, you know, that sometimes I'm surprised that you say it and cop to it, and that is that what we want is a Republican brain and a Democrat heart. And the more I think about that, it's like, I agree with that. But I'm not sure you want to have too much of the heart involved with really difficult decisions. It's important, but it may take you in the wrong direction in terms of the path to good intentions and the path to hell, et cetera. And then on the left, I got a guy who's a cardiologist, says, well, it's got to be here somewhere. And I don't even know if Kevin has a heart. So what do you think, John? I mean, do you admit, and you're a small business guy who doesn't want handouts, you want to hand up, so you know it's all about business and the economy to get where we want to go. Am I right about this? Do you see what I'm saying?
There's hope for you yet, Joe. Yes, and look, when you're talking to your daughter, who I've met, you don't just say, you know, some left-brain analytical decision, a spreadsheet about her school, or your heart is into who you're hanging around. What's your culture? If you hang around 9 broke people, you'll be the 10th. What's your environment? What's the school going to be like? Your heart's in it, and your head is in it. Look, hope is on the way, and it's not a socialist. That word is out. That was, I don't know who used it or where it came from. This is a capitalist country, free markets. This President-elect Biden is going to have a plan that I think is going to be like open source capitalism. I talked to some of his transition team last night. There's one guy who I think is brilliant, Wale Adeyemo, who's going to be the #2 at Treasury and the first African-American as Deputy Secretary. And the guy is brilliant, and he's he's left brain with Kevin O'Leary and you, and he's right brain for businesses like the guy who owns this business with 4 employees, because that's half of this country. 58% of all jobs, of all Americans, work for companies with less than 50 employees. So it's heart and head here actually mean good GDP.
All right, so Kevin, I was sort of kidding around a little bit. I'm sorry I sung the Grinch song for you, although I think that's coming up. It's a really funny, it's always new and fresh, that half hour. But when you hear something like John just said, socialism is off the table. Only reason it's off the table is because voters didn't give the Democrats a blue wave like we heard there was going to be. The only reason it's off the table is because, you know, if the Senate stays Republican, then the worst intentions of Biden's far left flank aren't going to be realized, right?
What happened is those voices, the AOC and, you know, what occurred with Elizabeth Warren, did a lot of damage to the Democratic Party, and it showed up in the House. And you know I'm a policy pundit, and I know that if the incumbent will always lose more seats, as Trump did in the House in the midterms. So Biden's in a very tricky situation. If he doesn't silence those socialist voices and, you know, try and get them off the agenda for the American voter, he's going to be in a worse situation 24 months from now. Now, having said that, I saw his picks, and I'm encouraged. Yellen's the headliner. I don't think Tandon's going to make it, but the rest will. And I believe that the Senate will remain exactly where it stands after the Georgia runoffs. But the policy now to discuss, and I've been working and enjoying these sessions with you and John right through the pandemic, but I have such clarity now on 2021 in terms of what business is going to be doing. And I'm here to report to you that we actually don't need much more stimulus except for unemployment support. And I'll give you an example. I saw in this $1 trillion package more support for airlines. The middle name of the airline industry is bankruptcy. They do a great job going through that as they have to downside. In my own companies, I'm happy to report that we are going to be slashing business travel in 2021 between 20 and 50% with no punishment to our revenue. We don't travel for business because we want to. We don't have to anymore. And that's what's so fantastic about the upside of what this pandemic has put us through. It's a new digital economy. And so why are we supporting, and I really want John to think about this, I want him to spend as much energy starting up companies that are disruptive and represent the new America 2.0 as he is trying to keep the dead ones alive. They are dead. Anything to do with entertainment has changed. Airline travel, business travel, dead. There's so many food services businesses dead. We do not have to fund them anymore. Those entrepreneurs will start new companies, and that's what I'm really pushing for now. Stop giving dead companies money. It's so inefficient for the economy, and I want John to get on board. I'm here. That's my new mission, and I have such clarity. I'm crystal clear, very upside.
Before I go to the church...
He's nodding.
Before I go to the church, Kevin, let me just say, there's nothing dead about the flight attendants that I met last week on the Delta flight I took. There's nothing dead about the mechanics I met who are happy about their job. There's nothing dead about the small businesses that Operation Hope funds that have contracts with Delta. Delta employs, I think it's 600,000 people, something like that. And the contracts that we're doing with 1MBB with Shopify, 1 Million Black Businesses, those businesses need a source to get contracts, and that is, in this case, Delta making a commitment to let those businesses supply Delta. This is a supply chain. This economy is a supply chain, Kevin. You don't live in a vacuum. As I keep saying, you benefit from the Fed window. That is your version of affirmative action. White folks got affirmative action before black folks did. It goes back to 1600s. I'll let you figure that out. Look, we're all in this thing together. We're going to need a new Marshall Plan, as I wrote earlier this year. And I think that you see a lot of what I said, the new Marshall Plan, in President-elect Biden's plan, frankly.
I would have never thought we would have been below 7% unemployment. We simply don't need more stimulus, John. You know, you talk about Delta. Maybe that's one of the surviving airlines. That's great. And all those flight attendants you're worried about, I want to support them with unemployment. I do not want to support the shareholders of an airline that should be bankrupt. I don't want to support any more shareholders in bankrupt businesses. It's over. We got to stop doing that. We now have clarity for 2021, 2022. It's a fantastic opportunity to scrape the patina off the economy and all the waste and stop funding these losers and give that capital to the new economy. That's what I'm talking about. I want to help people. I want to help schools. I do not want to fund shareholders in dead businesses. I think we can both agree on that.
We agree on not funding dead businesses. I don't believe that the airlines are dead businesses. Maybe some of them are. I don't believe the example I just gave you is anywhere close to it. Number two, let's keep in mind that as of last night, 5%, I think we're about to agree now, of the stimulus package that just happened, half of all stimulus went to 5% of all businesses. Half went to big businesses, and the businesses that I supported, Operation Hope, got next to nothing. That's just wrong. And this new program has to focus on businesses that have 50 employees or less. That's half, almost 60% of this country. And then it's got to focus on keeping the lifeboats open. And then we got to get financial literacy and entrepreneurship and financial coaching from the bottom of the pyramid to high school, to community college, to high school. Everybody's got to become a self-employment project and a new business owner. Otherwise, Kevin, we wouldn't end up with a founder of Walmart. I mean, Sam Walton is the guy we're talking about, a high school education, a storefront, and a dream. Somebody believed in him, and somebody believed in him.
Listen, John, Sam did not need the government to start Walmart. He did that on his own. He saw the need. There are millions of entrepreneurs ready to get to work. You just have to give them a chance. I don't want to pick winners and losers anymore. We are going into a new year. We did that all year, and 30% of that PPP was totally wasted. That's my estimate. Let's stop doing that. I support unemployment as the 20% of the economy has to shift to new digital businesses. I agree with that, including those flight attendants you want to support and anybody else that's been, you know, thrown out of a job, not because of anything they did, but the preferences of consumers have changed. The economy has changed, and we need to reflect that in government policy. So, you know, we're not even talking about some of the bigger issues that Biden has to deal with, like China. I'm just talking domestic.
All right, so, John, we got to go. Thanks, Kevin. I appreciate it. Thanks for playing along. Just, John, in general, you say that a lot. So, the brain versus the heart. I mean, would you